And now our tonight's starting lineup. First for the visiting Garfield Heights Bulldogs. At guard, number 1, Kyle Sturgis. At forward, number 2, Willie Jackson. At guard, number 4, Frankie Hughes. At forward, number 10, Ronell Franklin. At center, number 34, Brandon Johnson. Starting coach for Garfield Heights, Sonny Johnson. Assistant coaches, Jim Siebert, Michael Cunningham, James Triple, and Chet Mason.
Cardinal TV. You can check out the replay of this game tonight on Cardinal TV, Mentor, Ohio, on our YouTube channel. Time Warner Cable in the city of Mentor as well, channel 96.96. But welcome to the start of the 2014-2015 Mentor Cardinals boys basketball schedule. Game number 1 here is at home, playing at Mentor High School Gym. This gym was opened in 1965 with a capacity of 2,100 fans. As we all know, Mentor, one of the largest schools in the state of Ohio, 3,200 students attending Mentor High School, and this finds to be a tough matchup here this evening versus the Garfield Heights Bulldogs. Getting ready for the tip. Number 1, Micah Potter for the Cardinals, and the Cardinals win the tip. Going from left to right. Kyle McIntosh over to Joey Zog to Andrew Valeri. Andrew Valeri, some nifty moves, crossing over, but turning the ball over as he intended to throw that pass to the senior, number 11, Joey Zog, the pride of Memorial Junior High out of Mentor. The Bulldogs under pressure, and they're going to bat that off of the Cardinals to make it go out of bounds off of number 21, Paul Satika. Dubbed him Mr. Energy last year because he came in off the bench and brought plenty of energy, but he's starting this season for the Cardinals. The Bulldogs under pressure on offense here. Number 1, Kyle Sturgis, the point guard for the Bulldogs, looking to set things up. No score on the night early in the first quarter of play. Game number 1 on the season. Number 2 for the Bulldogs putting up, that's Willie Jackson, one of the standouts for this team, coming up shy on that jumper attempt. Andrew Valeri pushing the issue on the offensive side. Joey Zog looking in to the big man Micah Potter, going up, missing that shot, but we're going to stay right here on the Cardinals side as it went out of bounds off of the Bulldogs. Garfield Heights still no score on the board. Garfield Heights, this is their second game of the season. They won their first game last week. Micah Potter backing down Brandon Johnson, I should say, number 34 for the Garfield Heights Bulldogs, and they're going to call that an offensive foul on Micah Potter, so it's going to go the other direction. Again, pressing full court, the Cardinals putting that pressure on the Bulldogs right from the get-go. Paul Satika, number 21, trying to guard Willie Jackson, number 2. He's going to pass to his right to number 4, Frankie Hughes. Frankie Hughes running into some problems, gives it to the point guard, Kyle Sturgis. He's going to throw that ball out of bounds, looking for Raymel Franklin. It's going to go the direction of the Cardinals. 6:55 remaining in the first quarter of play. Still no score on the scoreboard here tonight. These two teams faced off twice last season. Cardinals winning both of the games versus Garfield Heights. Micah Potter backing him down low, forcing it up and missing the layup, getting his own rebound, kicking it out up top. Joey Zog driving into the paint, kicking it back to Paul Satika, putting it up, putting it in for the first bucket of the season for the Cardinals. Mr. Energy, number 21, Paul Satika. Cardinals trying to get back on defense, though, and gave up an easy bucket to the Bulldogs, who tied the score 2 apiece. The point guard, Andrew Valeri, bringing the ball up for the Cardinals. On the move, on the go. Looking to Paul Satika, sliding it over to Joey Zog. The senior guard, Joey Zog, kicking it out to Kyle McIntosh, putting up the 3. Got the shooter's touch as it bounced up and bounced in for the three-pointer, the first three-pointer for the Cardinals this season, the first of many to come, I'm sure, but the Bulldogs looking to match that effort as Frankie Hughes draining the 3 on the opposite end for the Bulldogs, tying the score at 5 apiece. 5:45 remaining in the first quarter of play. Micah Potter standing 6'10", the junior. Big for the Cardinals. The Cardinals showing some good ball movement and early going, trying to get it inside to their big man. Going to play through him. Swinging around the exterior here. Joey Zog, number 11, driving into the paint. They're going to call a foul on the Bulldogs. Looks like that's going against number 34, Brendan Johnson. Brendan Johnson, the senior big man for the Bulldogs, standing 6'7". He committed to go play his college ball next year at Alabama State. Again, a pretty exciting Garfield Heights Bulldogs team. They had a standout last year in David Bell, who's going to be playing for the Ohio State Buckeyes this year, Division I college ball. It's the Cardinals on offense. Joey Zog going to queue up a 3 himself, coming up well short. Card's going to have to get back on defense. The Bulldogs on the run. Kyle Sturgis setting the table for the Bulldogs, looking at Willie Jackson, number 2. Swinging that ball around, and number 4, Frankie Hughes, going to cue it up again, coming up shy on that 3-point attempt. Brandon Johnson and Micah Potter fighting for the ball. Again, these Bulldogs highly ranked in the area this year. Number 2, Willie Jackson. Number 4, Frankie Hughes, getting some Big Ten interest for the juniors out of Garfield Heights. So we got some potential Division I college ball recruits on this Bulldog squad as well. Number 4, again, Frankie Hughes, queuing it up, coming up well short. Cards going in the other direction quickly, as they like to do. Swinging the ball around. Joey Zog trying to get the dribble penetration, putting it up, looking for contact. No foul called, so the Bulldogs quickly going the other direction. The score is still tied at 5 apiece. Frankie Hughes again queuing up a 3-pointer, and that's going to be an offensive foul on the Bulldogs. Going back to the Cardinals. Cardinals with some substitutions in the game. The guy number 24, Ian Tenku, now in the ball game, and number 20, Adam Smith, on the court as well. As Andrew Valeri bringing the ball up the court, looking for a pick from Smith. Swinging that ball around to McIntosh. McIntosh over to Tenku. Had the ball briefly stolen. That's going to go out of bounds off the hands of Kyle McIntosh. Another substitution for the Cardinals. They're going to bring Jack Korsak into the game. He's a sophomore guard, standing 6'1.5 inches tall. JV score of the game before this, the Cardinals victorious over Garfield Heights, 66-50. New coach, Coach David Kriz, comes to Mentor High School with some coaching experience, being the varsity head coach at Wycliffe High School. His wife is my kid's principal over at Fairfax Elementary, Principal Christine Kriz. But congratulations to Coach David Kriz on the first victory of the season for the JVs. The Cards spreading the ball around. Draining to 3 is number 5. That's going to be Jack Korsak. hitting that three. Cardinals up 8-5 with 3:35 remaining in the first quarter of play. First game of the season for the Cardinals. Looking for big things again this season for Menor. Is Willie Jackson queuing up a three, but big Brandon Johnson with the offensive board putting up the putback. Bringing the Bulldogs to within 1 point, 8-7, the Cards with the advantage. Cardinals like to do the run and shoot offense, trying to keep the ball moving, looking for a good shot. Andrew Valeri driving to the hole, drawing the contact, and he's going to be going to the charity stripe to shoot two. Look like a shooting foul potentially. We'll see what the referees end up calling as the Cardinals doing some mass substitutions again, getting Paul Satika and Micah Potter back in the game. Now, the Cardinals going to get the ball out of bounds. It was not a shooting foul, so Andrew Valeri is going to inbound the ball. Going to swing the ball around to Kyle McIntosh. 3 minutes remaining in the first quarter of play. The Cards with a 1 point advantage over the visiting Bulldogs out of Garfield Heights. Valeri swinging it around. Looking inside, Micah Potter, they're going to be going to him often this season with his height advantage over most teams in the paint. Standing 6'10", but again, that's going to go the other direction as the Cardinals turn the ball over. They're going to call that foul against Micah Potter on the offensive side as well. So Cardinals clinging out to that 1 point lead. Garfield Heights looking to push the ball though. Number 12 for them, that's Sean Christian. Marion Jackson, number 5 with the ball for the Bulldogs, swinging it around to Christian. Back to Christian. Cardinals trying to stay up on them. Christian nearly lost control of that ball. 2:20 remaining in the first quarter of play, and way off on that three-point attempt. Long for Marion Jackson, the sophomore guard for the Bulldogs, but there's going to be a foul on the floor. Raymel Franklin from the Bulldogs, so Garfield Heights going to get called for the foul on the offensive side there, giving the ball back to the Cardinals with the 1 point advantage. This is going to be Coach Kruzanzik's 22nd season coaching with the Cardinals. The long tenured coach actually has 349 victories at Menor, so this would be a bit of a milestone victory tonight if he could get number 350. Comes in with a 68% winning percentage, 349 and 159 in his 21 years coaching at Menor. Overall, Coach Kruzanzik has 543 victories with only 252 defeats for a 68% winning percentage for his entire career, as well as Frankie Hughes pulling up again, draining a three-pointer that time, putting the Bulldogs up ahead 10-8. Coach Kruzanzik getting a lot of players in here in the first quarter of play. Is foul on the floor. Nice cut to the basket for Joey Zog. That dribble penetration. We have Max Barich, the junior guard, now in the game for the Cards as well, number 2 on the floor. Got a number of players getting a first taste of varsity ball this year with a lot of defections from the team last year. Moving on to bigger and better things, but a lot of scoring is going to have to be found to be replaced this year as the Cardinals' top 4 scorers on the season last year. Caleb Potter, Connor Kruzanzik, Cade McClure, and Kyle Hagee all were seniors last season and went on to their respective college careers. So the leading scorer on the team from last year is Joey Zog, who averaged 7 points last season as a starter for the Cardinals. Minute and a half remaining in the first quarter of play. The Cards down 10-9 over the visiting Garfield Heights Bulldogs. Nice move by the Bulldogs, pulling up though, coming up shy. Micah Potter getting a strong rebound for the Cards. But they're going to call the Cardinals on a traveling violation. Number 2, Max Barich, is going to take a seat following that turnover. After a big rebound by Micah Potter, Cardinals could not afford to turn that ball over, so Coach Kruzanzik with the quick yank to get Max Barich on the bench to think about it a little bit. Had a couple strong minutes though off the bench. His first time on a varsity squad, but the Bulldogs now find themselves up by 3. Getting an easy bucket there on the offensive side. The Cardinals looking at 1:05 remaining in the first quarter of play. Need to get some points on the board. Joey Zog, dribble penetration, going in deep. No foul called. Very close. Coach Krasancic cannot believe it. I heard the slap on Joey Zog's hand all the way up here. But we're inside a minute to play, 56 seconds in the first quarter. The Bulldogs, Garfield Heights up by 3 points. Dribbling the ball up the court for the Bulldogs. That's number 15, A.J. Rose, giving it over to Frankie Hughes, who's been on fire. 3-pointers. It's his third 3-pointer on the night. That's all he has is 3-pointers. He's got 9 points in the first quarter of play. Andrew Valeri, dribble penetration. Half a minute remaining in the first quarter of play. Micah Potter, some contact down low, but he got the easy bucket. 2 points for Micah Potter. 20 seconds remaining in the first quarter of play, 15-11. The Bulldogs up on top of the Cards. Micah Potter in a bit of an uncomfortable position for his stature on the defensive side to be that far away from the basket. But showing some good stance, staying in front of the ball. Number 12, Sean Christian, coming up shy on a 3-point attempt, but offensive board and shot by Marion Jackson coming up shy. So we're going to end the first quarter of play here, game number 1 on the season. Cardinals finding themselves down by 4 points at home, 15-11. Cardinals will be back at home on December the 22nd. That's a Monday against Stowe Monroe Falls and their Bulldogs. So a couple Bulldogs Cardinals are facing in the first 2 home games of the season. Again, Cardinals down by 4 points here. Hoping to follow in the footsteps of the JV squad who beat Garfield Heights pretty soundly in the opener before the varsity game tonight. Coaching staff for Coach Krasancic this season flanked with Nail Grants, the assistant varsity coach. He's responsible for coaching the team and individual defense. David Kriz, again, he's the junior varsity head coach. Spent the last 13 years as the boys varsity coach at Wycliffe High School. Also Aaron May, Tony Wilson, Chris Parsons, and Jim Funk round out the coaching staff for the Cardinals this season. 7:51 remaining in the second quarter of play as we just get started here. Micah Potter got a hold on to that rebound as he does, kicking it up to Andrew Valeri, number 3 on the move, on the go, 3-pointer queued up for the Cards, up and in. Big shot for number 11, Joey Zog, the senior, standout for the Cardinals. Got to get back on defense though, and going to call a foul on the Cardinals. Down by 1 point to the Bulldogs, 15-14. Garfield Heights finds themselves on top. They're going to be taking the ball out of bounds so we get set to resume play here. Garfield Heights looking inside, the big Brandon Johnson, some contact but no call. The Cardinals quickly on the move. Paul Satika, Mr. Energy, on the go. Nearly turned the ball over. Kyle McIntosh recovering on the other side of the court. McIntosh looking for that pick by Micah Potter. Ended up kicking it over to Joey Zog, coming up shy on a 3-point attempt. Garfield Heights quickly on the move, quickly on the go. Number 1 for the Bulldogs, ducking up and under. Kyle Sturgis shy on that layup attempt. Third time is a charm for Willie Jackson. Andrew Valeri pushing the offense in the other direction. Oh, and Joey Zog trying to put up another 3-pointer and stuffed by Frankie Hughes. Frankie Hughes having himself a nice evening. He's the high point man tonight with 9 in the game. All 3-pointers for the Bulldogs. Again, last week, Garfield Heights, playing their first game of the season, ended up having a tight contest, winning 65-63. Frankie Hughes and Willie Jackson playing a good game last week. Willie Jackson ended up hitting the game-winning shot against Gonzaga College out of DC at the Buckeye Elite National Showcase. Coach Sonny Johnson's looking for big things from his squad this season as he's built himself a nice program out of Garfield Heights. Brendan Johnson looking inside to Willie Jackson, goes off his own foot, goes out of bounds, turning the ball over. The Bulldogs up by 3 points. Cardinals looking to come back. 6.5 minutes remaining in first half of play. Andrew Valeri, nice crossover, getting into paint. Kicking it out to Kyle McIntosh, swinging it back around to Valeri. To Joey Zog, dribble penetration, and little traveling music as Joey Zog taking a few too many steps in the paint. Going to turn the ball back over to the Bulldogs. Again, the Cardinals losing a lot of experience from that team from last year, but looking to rebound and really lean on players like Joey Zog, the senior who started all season last year for the Cardinals, and Micah Potter has been playing since his freshman year and played quite a bit last year. Started a number of the games for the Cardinals too, but they're going to rely heavily on those two players. Andrew Valeri also be counted on too. He got big minutes last year in his sophomore season, getting the starting nod as a junior this year. Cardinals swinging the ball around, trying to find the open man. Andrew Valeri going to queue up a three, and he's going to drain that three for number 3. 5.5 minutes remaining in the first half of play, and we're all tied up at Mentor High School. First game for the Cardinals. We knew it was going to be a tough game going in versus Garfield Heights and the Bulldogs, Sonny Johnson's team. And it's lived up to the pregame hype as being a close game, and touche. The Bulldogs coming up with their own three-pointer by Raymel Franklin, the senior guard for the Bulldogs. Cardinals swinging it around. Number 23 for the Cardinals going to kick it off, swinging the ball around. Dribble penetration, Kyle McIntosh. Oh, had a good look at it, but coming up just shy as he tried banking that in. Coach Krasanzik really upset with the officials. The officials letting the teams play tonight with a lot of contact. Cardinals on the move, Valeri. Looking to push the issue, swinging it around. And number 23, Tatarunas. The freshman for the Cardinals, standing 6'3½". He was a backup quarterback on the varsity football team this year as well, getting some action, as we know a lot of times happens with the Cardinals football squad, getting a big lead and having an opportunity for a lot of the underclassmen to come in. So young Tatarunas got some exposure to the varsity football and now basketball at Mentor High School this season. The Cardinals wide open for a three, draining it. Joey Zog, the high point man for the Cardinals with 10 points, and he's now the high point man in the game as well, tying the score again. 20 apiece, the Cards and the Bulldogs, and a tight one here. 4 minutes remaining in a half. Look at the hustle by the Cardinals. Coming up big and looking down court, Joey Zog on the move. The fast break points for the Cardinals, putting them up by 2, 22-20. Oh, nice defense too, but they're going to call a foul. Joey Zog trying to get the energy going on the defensive side. Nearly had a turnover, but got a little bit too aggressive, getting called for the foul. Some nice minutes but there by Adam Smith, the senior forward for the Cardinals. Going to be seeing some minutes on the varsity squad this year, really putting in a few good ones here in the first half of play. Full court press by the Cardinals. The Bulldogs on the move. Turned over, Andrew Valeri on the move, taking it. They're going to call a foul that time, making Coach Krasanzik happy, finally calling that. Andrew Valeri with a nice take, though. Nice play on the defensive end and really showing his speed, how he likes to push that ball up the court. 3.5 minutes remaining in the half. Cards with the 2-point advantage, looking to extend that. Andrew Valeri shooting 67% from the free throw stripe last year, averaged 3 points a game last year as well. So Valeri looking to put the Cards up by 3 points as he drains his second free throw. Cardinals with the full court press. Micah Potter putting the pressure on. It's going to be a turnover by the Bulldogs. Cards with a 3-point lead, looking to extend that as they get the ball back. 5 fouls in the first half here for the Cards and 6 for the Bulldogs. One more and they'll be in the bonus situation. They'll put the Cards in the bonus situation. Swinging the ball around for the Cards. Looking inside for Micah Potter, trying to get him the ball against Willie Jackson. Oh, Micah Potter rolling that off the rim. 3 minutes to go in the first half of play. Cards up 23-20. Frankie Hughes looked like he may have taken a step to me, but nice dribble penetration for the Bulldogs. Rebounded by Paul Satika, number 21. Andrew Valeri looking inside the Micah Potter. Let's do it again. Work that big man. Ride him down there. Going to call a foul on number 2, Willie Jackson. Better watch out. He's about to want to get a technical. Getting right in the direction of the referee with his disagreement for that foul. This isn't the NBA where you can argue every foul call. Referees will remember that here in high school ball. So Micah Potter finds himself at the free throw line, number 1 for the Cards. Only a 68% free throw shooter, draining that first one. Micah averaged 5 points a game last season, 5.5 rebounds though, and he's going to be counted on to really shoulder a lot of this weight for the Cardinals squad this season. I know Coach Krasanzik was quoted as saying he thinks Micah Potter could be a 25-point-a-night scorer. Cards would love to see that. Right now, Potter with 3 points on the night. Again, the high point man for the Cards being Joey Zog with 10 points. A deep three-pointer for the Bulldogs, getting a long rebound off of that miss. Going out of bounds, going to be going in the direction of the Cards. 2-2-2 on the scoreboard time-wise remaining in the first half of play. 2 minutes, 22 seconds. Cards with a 4-point advantage. Adam Smith back on the court for the Cards. Again, putting some strong minutes in here in the early going. Andrew Valeri with the ball. Looking for the pick for Micah Potter. Looking for a pick and roll. He had his man open, didn't give it to him. And Adam Smith coming up shy, but some nice hustle by Jack Korsak. Looking to save the ball, but it goes out of bounds. So 2:08 remaining in the first half. The Cards clinging on to that 4-point advantage. Staying with that full court press, broken by the Bulldogs. Willie Jackson had time to set his feet and come up shy though on that 3-point attempt. Valeri penetrating, hitting that bucket, but the referee's going to wave it off. They're not going to give him that continuation on that foul. Very close in my eyes. I thought that could have been an and one type situation, but they're not going to give it to him. But they are going to give him an opportunity to shoot a couple free throws here, as the Bulldogs do have 8 personal fouls here, so the Cardinals are in a bonus situation. Shooting the 1-and-1, coming up shy on that first attempt. Cardinals looking to retain possession, but it ends up in the hands of Frankie Hughes for the Bulldogs. Swinging the ball around, a wide open 3-point look for the Bulldogs. It's number 12, Sean Christian, but the Cardinals quickly going in the other direction. Swinging the ball around, Korsak over to Smith, inside the Micah Potter, putting that up and coming up shy. Trying to float that ball up over Willie Jackson, not connecting. So the Cardinals giving up a layup. Bulldogs taking the advantage now, 25-24. Quick 5 points for the Bulldogs, giving them the lead. The Cards trying a 3-pointer and bouncing it up and in. Kyle McIntosh inside a minute to play in the first half of play. Good pressure, full court for the Bulldogs. They almost running out of time. They may not get it across, and they're turning it over. That's timeout, nearly a 10-second violation, as the Bulldogs having a world of issues with trying to get that ball across mid-court. Very close to clock ticking away to 10 seconds in the turnover, but Sonny Johnson and his coaching staff alertly calling for a timeout to stop the play here. Cardinals up by 2 points, 27-25 over the Bulldogs out of Garfield Heights. In the area, the Cardinals ranked in the News Herald top of the crop as the number 2 team in the area, second only to the VASJ Vikings. And Seen legendary coach of VASJ, Mike Moran, watching the game here tonight. Maybe doing a little bit of scouting of this Cardinals team and even Garfield Heights, seeing some of the top teams in the area here. In a Plain Dealer top 25, VASJ ranked number 1. Cardinals ranked 13th on that poll. 45 seconds remaining in the first half of play. Cards holding on to that 2-point advantage. Frankie Hughes trying to dunk it in traffic, but that went over and out of bounds. Going to be Cardinals basketball. Remember, the Cardinals are in the bonus, so they want to keep that dribble penetration going. If they can't get a good look, maybe they could draw some contact and stop the clock and get on that free throw stripe, but looking to add some points before the first half time clicks away. Pete Stark, Cardinal TV, glad to bring game number 1 to you, Cardinals basketball season. Again, you can watch the replay, Cardinal TV, Mentor, Ohio on our YouTube channel, or Time Warner Cable in the city of Mentor on 96.96 being the channel. Cardinals 25 seconds in the first half. Andrew Valeri giving it to Micah Potter at the top of the key, swinging it around. 15 seconds remaining in the first half. Cards up by 2, 27-25. Joey Zog. 8 seconds to play in the first half. Looking inside, Micah Potter going up, getting that ball swatted away. Andrew Valeri's time runs out, putting it up and bouncing it in for the three-pointer. Going to give the Cardinals a 30-25 lead as we go into halftime. The ball bouncing right in the perfect spot just as time expired. Just before it clicked away, number 3, Andrew Valeri dropping a three-pointer. Halftime in Mentor, 30-25 over the visiting Bulldogs out of Garfield Heights. Cardinal TV will catch you in the second half.
Now
back for the second half of play. The Cardinals with the 5-point advantage, 30-25. Cardinals coming out with their starting lineup of Micah Potter, Andrew Valeri, Kyle McIntosh, Joey Zog, and Paul Satika. Cardinals going from right to left in front of me. Micah Potter looking down low for the big man, bouncing off. Swinging it around to Paul Satika at the top of the key. Looking inside again to Micah Potter, who's going up against Brendan Johnson. Kyle McIntosh, some dribble penetration. Trying to make something happen here. Joey Zog, same thing, pulling up, banking it up and in. Joey Zog, the senior for the Cardinals, getting a 7-point advantage going for Menor. It's 11 points on the night for Joey Zog. The Bulldogs throwing it out of bounds. Willie Jackson, number 2, a little bit too high on that pass. Getting it back to Menor. Menor like to keep extending the lead here. It was going back and forth the entire first half of play, but now the Cardinals hoping to open up a little bit of breathing room. The wide open 3-pointer. Andrew Valeri coming up shy. Big Brandon Johnson with the rebound for the Bulldogs, quickly on the move. Frankie Hughes looking inside to Willie Jackson. Blocked by Mr. Energy, Paul Satika. Dubbed him that last year as he would come often out of the bench for the Cardinals, bringing a ton of energy. Cardinals gonna, well, that is gonna go over to the Bulldogs. So it's gonna be a turnover. 6:49 remaining in the third quarter play. The Cards up by 7 points, 32-25. Like I mentioned earlier, Coach Krasanzik in his 22nd season coaching for Menor High School, looking for his 350th career victory at Menor as well in his 22 seasons. Coach Krasanzik ranks 23rd all-time in the state of Ohio for career high school basketball coaching victories with 544. If they win tonight, he'd be tied for 22nd all-time at 545. Joey Zog, dribble penetration, kicking it outside. Kyle McIntosh coming up shy, but they're going to get Paul Satika for the offensive foul. Coach Krasanzik just shaking his head. I don't know if I've seen that one either. That's his first foul tonight. Cards still up by 7 points, 6:20 remaining in the third quarter of play. This time they're going to get Kyle McIntosh on the foul for the Cardinals. Second foul of the second half for the Cardinals already, none for the Bulldogs. And these Bulldogs, a tough squad here as the Cardinals intercept the ball. Micah Potter slamming it home emphatically, getting the crowd going. A facial over the Bulldogs defender, Micah Potter. After the steal by Joey Zog, looking down low for the junior big man, Micah Potter, who brought it home with the slam dunk with authority, putting the Cards up by 9 points, the biggest lead on the evening for Menor. 6:02 remaining in the third quarter of play. Cardinals picking up that pressure all along the way, giving fits to the Bulldogs here so far in the second half. Willie Jackson driving to the basket. Brandon Johnson trying for the foul, came up shy. Frankie Hughes looking inside to Brandon Johnson, who puts it up and puts it in. 5:48 remaining in the third quarter of play. The Cards up by a 7-point advantage. They're facing full court pressure by the Bulldogs as well. And they're going to call Paul Satika for the offensive foul, moving pick. It's going to get Satika to the bench. Going to be replaced by number 20, Adam Smith, the 6'2" senior forward. Get some nice minutes for Coach Krasanzik tonight. It's going to give the Bulldogs an opportunity to get back within 5 points potentially here. Number 5, Marion Jackson, queuing up the 3-pointer, puts him back within 4 points. So quickly that 9-point advantage evaporated for the Cardinals. A couple quick scores for the Bulldogs, bringing them back to within 4. 34-30, the Cardinals clinging on to that lead. Andrew Valeri nearly turned the ball over. Joey Zog in the right place at the right time. The pick by Micah Potter, freeing up the 3-point attempt by Joey Zog. That iron has been kind tonight for the Cardinals. We've seen a number of three-pointers bounce up and bounce in, just like that one there. High point man on the night, Joey Zog, now has 14. Cardinals back up by 7 points. Frankie Hughes going to, again, cue up a three-pointer for himself. In the first half of play, Frankie Hughes hitting 3 3-pointers. All he does is shoot threes. Coming up shy in that attempt, but it's going to remain on the Bulldog side of the court. 4:46 remaining in the third quarter of play. Cards with a 7-point advantage. Playing some tight defense here in the second half of play. Missing that layup, Kyle Sturgis for the Bulldogs. Andrew Valeri trying to bring the ball quickly in the other direction. Micah Potter swinging it over to Kyle McIntosh for the three. Coming up shy, Frankie Hughes on a rebound for the Bulldogs. Quickly going in the other direction to Willie Jackson, driving it up, putting it in. Going for the and one attempt as he hit that layup, but he was fouled as well. So down by 5 points now, the Bulldogs looking to cut it even further, try to be down by 4 with Willie Jackson at the line. 6'6", the junior forward for the Bulldogs, getting some interest from some Big Ten schools where he may be playing in a couple years. So that speaks volumes to the type of team that Sonny Johnson has himself. They have senior Brandon Johnson committed to Alabama State, play college ball next year, and Willie Jackson, Frankie Hughes, a couple standouts that may be playing in Big Ten schools when they get the opportunity to sign with the college. Willie Jackson on the interception. The Bulldogs, Marion Jackson hot from the three-point line, putting his team back within 1 point. A couple three-pointers in the second half of play for Marion Jackson. Kyle McIntosh thought about it, but kicked it inside to Micah Potter, kicking it out to Andrew Valeri, back out to McIntosh. Big board down low, though, for the Cards. Wound up in the hands of Micah Potter. Joey Zog with that big board, but quickly the Bulldogs going in the other direction. Frankie Hughes floating it up, missing it, but getting his own rebound, putting it up and giving the Bulldogs a 1 point lead. So just a couple minutes ago, the Cardinals were up by 9. It's gone in the other direction quickly. Frankie Hughes with an emphatic slam on the Bulldogs side, bringing them up to a 3-point advantage with a lot of momentum going in the direction of Garfield Heights right now. Quick turning of the tables in the last few minutes. Cardinals with that big lead that quickly evaporated. Coach Kozanzik huddling up with the timeout, quickly trying to regroup his squad to refocus here and get back in control of things. They were having success early in the third quarter of play with that pressured defense, forcing turnovers and making the Bulldogs pay for it, but its tides have turned here in the last couple of possessions. The Bulldogs being the ones forcing the issue. Number 5, Marion Jackson with a couple of three-pointers really getting the team going, and some costly turnovers by the Cardinals. 3:27 remaining in the third quarter played. First game of the season for the Mentor Cardinals, second game of the year for the undefeated Garfield Heights Bulldogs. Kyle McIntosh got to get that ball across midcourt. Andrew Valeri finding Adam Smith. Joey Zog looking inside, he had him open. Tadas Tataroulis wide open down low. Off the hands of the Bulldogs, though, keeping the ball in possession of the Mentor Cardinals. Andrew Valeri looking to inbound the ball. 3:12 remaining in the third quarter of play. Paul Satika with the ball. And dribbling off his foot, going out of bounds, turning the ball over. A telling tale here in the second half as well. 5 fouls for the Cardinals and none for the Garfield Heights Bulldogs. As the Bulldogs now with a 3-point advantage over Mentor. 3 minutes remaining in the third quarter of play. Frankie Hughes, nice up fake, bringing it into close range and coming up shy, but Willie Jackson getting the offensive board, but he stepped out of bounds, going to put the ball into Cardinals' possession. Cardinals looking to cut it to this 3-point deficit that they currently face versus Garfield Heights. Paul Satika is going to go ahead and take a seat in favor of Ian Tenku. He's in the game right now. So on the court for the Cards, got Jack Korsak, number 5, with the ball. Andrew Valeri's in there as well as Joey Zog. Ian Tenku in Tadas Tatarunas. Under pressure, Valeri got bailed out by the foul. Take it back. That was a timeout, a timely timeout called by the Cardinals as Coach Krasanzik saw that his man, Andrew Valeri, under a world of trouble trying to get the ball across the court as Garfield Heights can't believe it. They were anticipating a turnover, but that timeout called just in the nick of time. Cards down by 3 points with the possession when we get the break away from this timeout. Again, these two teams are going to face off a little bit later in the season, January the 30th at Garfield Heights High School. Next game for the Cardinals is going to be on Tuesday at North Royalton versus the Bears. Next Friday, they're going to face off against Asa Ahmad and the Shaker Heights Red Raiders at Shaker Heights. So Cardinals won't be back home until Christmas week, December the 22nd versus Stowe Monroe Falls on a Monday special. Cards looking to inbound the ball. Again, having some problems. 5 seconds. Couldn't get the ball inbounded, so that's going to be a turnover for the Cardinals. 2:44 remaining in the third quarter of play. Cardinals disputing that, but got to get that ball inbound. So giving it back to the Bulldogs again with some momentum here. Foul on Ian Tenku for the Cardinals. That's the 6th foul of the second half for the Cardinals, none for the Bulldogs. That could be costly for the Cardinals as we wind down in the second half here. Willie Jackson showing a nice move, but too strong on that layup attempt. It's going to be out of bounds in favor of the Cardinals. Very nice move, and you can see that talent that number 2, Willie Jackson, possesses for the Garfield Heights Bulldogs, but a bit out of control in that layup attempt. Got to inbound that ball. Got it to Andrew Valeri. Out of control. But they're going to keep the possession in favor of the Cardinals. That inbound pass got lofted up and nicely caught by Andrew Valeri, looking like a wide receiver going down the court, but went out of bounds. So the Cardinals looking to inbound the ball, going to get Micah Potter back in the game. Micah Potter, just a junior this season. Seems like he's been around for a while. He's been getting playing time since his freshman year. Got a lot of minutes last year, a lot of starting assignments as a sophomore. Looked to be, along with Joey Zog, the leaders of the team this year. Micah Potter saying we have to play like brothers. So the brothers are going to have to rally up here to overcome this 3-point deficit and get back in the game. Micah Potter trying that left-handed shot, coming up shy down low. 2:15 remaining in the third quarter of play. Kyle Sturgis is going to slow it down a little bit for Garfield Heights. Sonny Johnson trying to set his offense. Getting rather animated on the sideline here. Willie Jackson taking it to the basket, being swatted out of bounds by Micah Potter. Get that out of here. 3-point lead for the Bulldogs. 1:58 remaining in the third quarter play. Paul Satika getting set to check back into the game. Tadas Tatarunas coming out. So we got Andrew Valeri, Joey Zog, Paul Satika, Micah Potter in the game right now. Oh, ball nearly stolen by Joey Zog. Three-pointer drained by Garfield Heights, giving him a 43-37 6-point lead. Joey Zog looking to control things a little bit here, finding number 5 for the Cardinals. That's Jack Korsak under pressure, but finds Paul Satika looking for Micah Potter, who drew the foul down low. It's going to be only the first foul against the Bulldogs in the second half of play. The Cardinals already have 6 tallied up. Minute 30 remaining in the third quarter here. 6-point advantage for the Bulldogs. Micah Potter looking inside. There we go. You get it in that deep, it should be nice and easy. He puts it up, puts it in. 7 points on the night for big man Micah Potter. Willie Jackson on the move, though. Bit of a mismatch as Andrew Valeri trying to guard him, missing the layup. Minute 15 remaining in the third quarter play. Cards down by 4. Joey Zog queuing up the 3. The big 3! Rains it in, the high point man tonight. 17 points for Joey Zog. the senior leader for the Cardinals, bringing them to within 1 point, 43-42, the Bulldogs with the lead. Willie Jackson on the move, nearly lost the ball. Turning it over to the Cardinals, who are on the move. Jack Corsock, followed up by Micah Potter, coming up shy on the offensive board. And they're going to call that against the Cardinals. Going to call that going over the back. Micah Potter, 7 fouls in the third quarter of play for the Cardinals. Inside a minute to play, 43-42, the Bulldogs with the advantage. The Bulldogs in the penalty or in a bonus situation as they get to shoot a 1-and-1 free throw here. Sean Christian at the line, the sophomore guard for the Bulldogs. 48 seconds remaining in the third quarter play. And he misses that, so 47 seconds. The Cardinals looking to come back and take the lead that they once had. Joey Zog forcing the issue. Dribble penetration, swinging it around to Jack Corsock. Paul Satika trying to get the ball inside to Micah Potter, but Paul Satika showing his athleticism going around to the other side of the hoop. Mr. Energy getting a bucket, 4 points on the night for Satika, but more importantly, giving the Cardinals the lead again, 44-43. Christian putting it up, trying to bank it, but the bank was closed for him. Micah Potter with the big board, 10 seconds remaining in the third quarter. The Cardinals up by 1 point. Andrew Valeri keeping his eye on the clock. 4-3, got to put it up. Floated it just off as he was trying for the layup just before time expired. Good look by Andrew Valeri. I'd have to think this is going to continue to go back and forth the way this game has gone. Cardinals did open up a big 9-point advantage in the beginning of this third quarter of play, but quickly tables were turned and found the Bulldogs of Garfield Heights with a 6-point lead. But now we find ourselves back to the nip and tuck that it was most of the first half as the Cardinals with a 1-point lead, 44-43. Game number 1 for the Cardinals, the basketball season. Number 2 for the Bulldogs, who won their first game. Cardinals trying to protect the home court. It's going to be a little bit of time. 2 road games before they get back home on December the 22nd. Cardinals would like to start out this season with a victory. They'd love to give Coach Chris Zanzik victory number 350 in his long tenured career here at Mentor High School. Kyle Sturgis looking to bring the ball up. The point guard for the Bulldogs, swinging it around to Willie Jackson, looking for Frankie Hughes, queuing it up for 3. Coming up shy, the Cards, Paul Satika with the rebound. Under some pressure, had to call timeout for the Cardinals. It's an early timeout here in the fourth quarter play. The Bulldogs frustrated the Cardinals like that a number of times in the third quarter during that hot streak that the Bulldogs had. Paul Satika alertly calling for a timeout in that situation. Again, the Cardinals expected to do big things again this season, ranked number 2 in the News Herald top of the crop standings, second only to VASJ and the Vikings. The Plain Dealer top 25 again has the VASJ Vikings as their top rated team. The Bulldogs out of Garfield Heights, the 5th rated team in the Plain Dealer top 25. The Mentor Cardinals ranked 13th, so this would be a big victory to start off the season for the Cardinals over a team that's ranked higher than them in the Plain Dealer standings at this point, or rankings. Kyle McIntosh breaking the press, going inside for the layup, putting it up, looking for an and one situation. Cardinals with a 3-point lead, strong bucket, strong take by Kyle McIntosh, driving the paint, putting it up, taking the contact and finding a way for that layup to go in. 8 points on the night for McIntosh, looking to get number 9 at the charity stripe for the and one. Draining it, giving the Cards a 4-point advantage. 7.5 minutes remaining in the game. Fourth quarter of play. Kyle Sturgis giving it over to Marion Jackson, being hounded by Joey Zog. Willie Jackson swinging it over to Frankie Hughes, who falls in love with that 3-point shot. Some dribble penetration, though, showing his versatility where he could lay out for that if he has to. He's going to be shooting. Going to be shooting at the line. 8 fouls in the second half of play for the Menor Cards, only 2 for the Bulldogs. So this whole fourth quarter is going to find the Bulldogs in a bonus situation. Frankie Hughes draining that first one. He's the high point man for the Bulldogs tonight. Down by 2 are the Bulldogs. Full court press against the Cardinals. Going to be a foul near mid-court. Willie Jackson getting called and whistled for the foul. 7:12 remaining in the game. The Cards with a 2-point lead, clinging, holding on. Picking them up full court. Looking to inbound the ball. Kyle McIntosh fouled it over to Joey Zog. Cards with their starting lineup beginning this fourth quarter of play. It's going to be another foul against the Bulldogs, trying to catch up to the Cardinals here. 3 fouls in the second half for the Bulldogs. Bulldogs high point man number 4, Frankie Hughes, with 15 points on the night. High point man for the Cardinals, Joey Zog, with 17. Andrew Valeri dribble penetration, swinging it around to Joey Zog, top of the key. Trying to get it inside to Micah Potter, but being well defended tonight by Brandon Johnson. Joey Zog swinging it around. Andrew Valeri thought about it. Joey Zog finding an opening, going inside, looking to kick it out. Wide open, Kyle McIntosh with another 3, coming up shy that time. Marion Jackson for the Bulldogs with a strong rebound, pushing it up the court. Finding an opening in the center of the lane, but coming up shy. Micah Potter, the big rebound, looking down court, but didn't realize Joey Zog wasn't ready for that pass. Marion Jackson, some big threes in the third quarter play. Big three-pointer right now to give the Bulldogs an advantage. Number 5, Marion Jackson, with 11 points on the night. 3 of those being three-pointers in the second half of play. That's really what spurred a lot of the momentum in the third quarter for the Bulldogs to go on that run that they had. A couple back-to-back three-pointers by Marion Jackson, and just straighten another one here to give the Bulldogs a lead. Timeout on the court. Down by 1, the Cardinals. We knew the fourth quarter was going to be nip and tuck, back and forth between these two squads, the way they've been playing the majority of the game here, going back and forth, back and forth. 6:15 remaining in the game for the Cardinals on the court right now. Still got their starting lineup out there with Kyle McIntosh inbounding the ball, Joey Zog, Micah Potter, Andrew Valeri, and Paul Satika. Joey Zog, the senior guard for the Cards, bringing the ball up the court, nearly lost it. Finding Kyle McIntosh. Looking inside, he had Micah Potter wide open, did not see him, but the entry pass into him from Paul Satika. Micah Potter, the offensive board, putting it up, putting it in. 9 points on the night for Micah Potter. Strong offensive board and the putback, giving the Cardinals a 1-point advantage. Kyle Sturgis under pressure. Willie Jackson sticking his elbow out there, and Sturgis getting fouled as he was going to the basket. It's the 9th foul of the second half for the Cardinals. Cards with a 1-point advantage. Kyle Sturgis is going to be at the free throw line for the Bulldogs. It's going to be a 1-and-1 shooting situation. The senior point guard for the Bulldogs is going to be at the line. So Micah Potter is going to take a seat. Micah Potter with 4 fouls tonight, so he's got to protect himself a little bit on the defensive end. Just being down there is a presence with his 6'10" stature. Game all tied up at 49 apiece, 5:35 remaining in the game. Kyle Sturgis at the free throw stripe, looking to give his team the lead. Coming up shy, but there was a lane violation. Let's see who that goes against. It looks like it's going to be against Menor. Change that, it's going to be against the Bulldogs. So Game all tied up at 49 apiece. Andrew Valeri, the point guard for the Cardinals, looking to bring the ball up the court. Bulldogs looking to trap, finding the open man, Adam Smith, over to Joey Zog. Joey Zog under pressure, wide open in the middle of the paint, putting it up, coming up shy. He had a good look at it, but couldn't connect. 5:15 remaining in the game, 49 apiece. The Bulldogs in a bonus situation. The next foul is going to put them in a double bonus where they'll be shooting 2 at every foul. Willie Jackson inside. Good defense by the Cardinals. And that's going to go out of bounds. Oh, looked like that should have been the Cardinals' ball, but they're going to give it in favor of the Bulldogs. Good defense there by Paul Satika down low, as Willie Jackson looked like he had a layup there, but good defense by the Cards. Marion Jackson bringing the ball up the court, being defended by Andrew Valeri, number 3. 4:50 remaining. The deep three-pointer by Marion Jackson. He was really feeling it, but coming up well shy, and the air ball is the student section on the Cardinal side letting him hear it. Marion Jackson with a real deep three-point attempt, a little bit out of his range there. 4:30 remaining in the game, tied up 49 apiece. Swinging the ball around, the Cards. Kyle McIntosh being fouled by number 4, Frankie Hughes. It's 4 fouls in the second half for the Bulldogs. Cardinals still 3 fouls away from getting in any kind of a bonus situation. Got to keep trying to play good team offense, swing that ball around, find the open man, try to get that dribble penetration, look for cutters. Andrew Valeri, that dribble penetration we talk about. Kyle McIntosh swinging the ball around to Joey Zog. Faking that shot, swinging it around to Adam Smith. Adam Smith with the take. Good take, and they're going to call another foul on Frankie Hughes. It's going to be his 3rd foul on the night. And that's a high point man there for the Bulldogs. Sonny Johnson doesn't agree with that call. 5 fouls now, second half for the Bulldogs. Andrew Valeri looking to inbound it. He found Joey Zog in deep. Zog putting it up, trying for the bank shot. Big rebound by Adam Smith. Going to Paul Satika, no call. Hitting the layup, putting the Cards up by 2 points. Mr. Energy, Paul Satika, 6 points on the night. 3:50 remaining in the game. Cards with that 2-point advantage. Got to protect themselves on defense. 9 fouls in the second half of play. Bulldogs being a double bonus. Frankie Hughes getting his own miss with the offensive rebound. And there it is. Looks like they're going to be calling the Cards for that foul. So it's going to be 2 free throws at the line for number 4, Frankie Hughes, for the Bulldogs. 15 points on the night. We're going to tie the game up if he would hit both of these free throws. Hitting the first one. Micah Potter looking to check back into the game. Number 15, A.J. Rose, coming on for the Bulldogs. So the Cardinals now have Micah Potter, Kyle McIntosh, Joey Zog, Andrew Valeri, and Adam Smith in the game. He drains them both, tying the game again. 3:30 remaining in the game, all tied up at 51. Micah Potter bringing the ball up the court. Don't see that all that often, but he could show his dribbling ability. McIntosh with the strong take and the make for the layup, giving the Cards the 2-point lead. McIntosh having himself a nice evening, now in double figures with 11 points on the night. Kyle Sturgis swinging it over to Frankie Hughes. Inside looking for Willie Jackson was A.J. Rose, but that's going to go out of bounds off the Cardinals, giving it back to the Garfield Heights Bulldogs. A.J. Rose looking to inbound the ball, finding Marion Jackson. Looking to put up the shot, training it. He's got a nice touch. Threw up the one air ball earlier, but other than that, he's been showing a nice stroke tonight. Micah Potter under trouble. They're going to call a foul on Willie Jackson. It's going to be 6 fouls for the Bulldogs. One more, and it's going to put the Cardinals in a bonus situation. And the Bulldogs in the double bonus. Cards have 10 personal fouls in the second half of play. Game all tied up at 53. Cardinals ball. Joey Zog, the senior guard for the Cards, breaking the press. Swinging the ball around, finding himself right under the bucket for the make and the take, the layup. 19 points in the night for Joey Zog, putting the Cards up by 2. 2.5 minutes remaining in the game. This game's going to go down to the wire. Number 10, Raymel Franklin under pressure for the Bulldogs, and that's going to be a 10-second violation against the Bulldogs, giving it back to the Cardinals, who already have a 2-point lead, looking to extend that lead. Fourth quarter of play has found the teams just going back and forth. It's been a tight score. Again, in that third quarter, Cardinals shot out to a 9-point lead, but that quickly turned back over to lead in favor of the Bulldogs, where the Bulldogs were up by as many as 6. Micah Potter deep down low against Willie Jackson, missing the layup. A strong board again by Adam Smith. Wide open 3 for Kyle McIntosh. 14 points on the night for Kyle McIntosh, giving the Cards a 5-point advantage. Big 3-pointers. He found himself wide open, but a big offensive board by number 20. Adam Smith has been all over the place tonight. And they're going to call a foul on Adam Smith. Technical foul against Willie Jackson, throwing his elbow, and he may get another one disputing that. That was a foul against the Cardinals. Adam Smith, Willie Jackson letting him know about it a little bit by giving him an elbow after the fact, picking up a technical. Cards with the 5-point advantage. 2-minute warning here, 2 minutes exactly remaining in the game. First game of the season for the Cardinals. Willie Jackson, as they clear the line, is going to be shooting his free throws. Draining that first one. Willie Jackson on the night with 5 points. Hitting both of those. He's just got that smirk on his face. Surprised they gave him that technical foul, but he earned it. Almost earned himself a second one by disputing that technical call. Kyle McIntosh at the charity stripe. 15 points for Kyle McIntosh, and he's shooting 2. Cards up by 4. Looking to get back to that 5-point advantage. McIntosh, couple big free throws, knocking them down for the Cardinals. Kyle McIntosh, himself and Andrew Valeri, getting minutes last year as sophomore guards, really helping him out this season as junior strongholds for the Cardinals. Going to be a big part of the success of this team this season. Kyle McIntosh looking for Micah Potter, finding Adam Smith wide open for the 3-point line. Swinging the ball around, 1:45 remaining in the game. The Cards up by 5. Kyle McIntosh looking for some help. Joey Zog, dribble penetration, finding a wide open Kyle McIntosh as the Cardinals looking to do 4 corners here and just spread the ball around. Kyle McIntosh fouled by Frankie Hughes. 1:28 remaining in the game. That's going to put him at the free throw line. 8 fouls for the Bulldogs in the second half. Shooting 1 and 1. Kyle McIntosh, 16 points on the night. Second leading scorer for the Cardinals. Cardinals being led in scoring by number 11, Joey Zog. Hitting that first free throw. Kyle McIntosh just got finished going 2 for 2 with that, following that technical foul by the Bulldogs' Willie Jackson. At the line to hit another free throw. 17 points on the night for Kyle McIntosh. Swoosh, he hits another one. 1:28 remaining in the game. The Cards with a 7-point lead. Cards coming up big when it mattered the most. Looking to get the victory in game number 1 of the season. Frankie Hughes nearly had an offensive foul. Swinging some elbows around. They're going to call the Cards for the foul on that, but tight defense by the Cardinals. Shooting 2, number 4, Frankie Hughes for the Bulldogs, their high point man. 17 points on the night. coming up shy in that first of 2 free throws. Cards still with that 7-point advantage over the visiting Garfield Heights Bulldogs. Sonny Johnson's team clinging on for dear life, and that's not going to help them with their efforts to try to come back down by 7 to have someone miss 2 free throw attempts. Andrew Valeri breaking the press on the go for the Cards, looking to swing the ball around. Kyle McIntosh, 1:07 remaining in the game. Cards up by 7. McIntosh over to Adam Smith. What a nice game for Adam Smith. Some of those key offensive boards he had just vital to the Cardinals in this apparent victory as they're looking to seal it up with a 7-point advantage. And Joey Zog going to the line, looking to add on to that lead. 9 personal fouls in the second half for the Bulldogs, so 1 more and the Cards will be in a double bonus situation, shooting 2. Joey Zog calmly drains that first one, giving himself 20 points on the night, putting the Cards up even further, an 8-point advantage for Menor. First game of the season, looking to start it off the right way. They were facing the undefeated Garfield Heights Bulldogs, but Garfield Heights is going to fall to 1-1 on the season, and the Cardinals will now be the undefeated team. Kyle Sturgis taking it to the lane, getting the layup. Sonny Johnson wants to talk about it. Bulldogs down by 6 points, 47 seconds remaining in the game. Coach Kwasandzik hoping to get victory number 350 at Menor High School. Long storied career here at Menor High School and long tenured coach overall, Coach Kwasandzik. 2 state high school championship crowns in his career, one at Menor and one at his alma mater of Girard back in 1993, Division II state championship versus VASJ. 2013, of course, leading the Menor Cardinals to the Division I state basketball crown. Cardinals with that 6-point lead, timeout on the floor. Big night for a couple of the guys that Coach Kwasandzik really going to lean on this year. Joey Zog with 20 points on the night. After starting all season last year as a junior, being counted on as a senior to be the captain and leader of the Cardinals team. Strong night too on offense by Kyle McIntosh with 18 points. Michael Potter with 9. Andrew Valeri with 7 points. Andrew Valeri with the ball, looking to break the press. Breaking the press on his own. Running into number 5, Marion Jackson, is going to pick up the foul, and that's going to be foul number 10 for the Bulldogs in the second half of play, so that's going to be the double bonus situation. Shooting 2 is going to be Andrew Valeri, who's had a nice evening as well with the point guard duties for the Cardinals. Showing a lot of grit and toughness. Full court press most of the second half by Garfield Heights, and on many occasions is just displayed there. Andrew Valeri breaking that press on his own. 40 seconds remaining in the game. The Cards with a 6-point lead. Possession arrow in favor of the Cardinals. Andrew Valeri hits the second one. 8 points on the night for Valeri. Inside 40 seconds to go in the game. Cards up by 7 points again. Frankie Hughes clearing some room, putting up a 3. Draining that. He's having a big night. 20 points on the night now for Frankie Hughes. That's, I think, his 5th 3-pointer on the night as well. 3 big 3-pointers in the first half for Frankie Hughes and a couple here in the second half. High point man for the Bulldogs, bringing the Garfield Heights to within 4 points, 64-60. The Cardinals clinging on to that advantage, looking to escape this game here with victory number 1. Trying to go 1 of 1 on this young season. Looking forward to another fun year for the Menor Hoops squad. Cardinals next game again against North Royalton on Tuesday. Going to be at North Royalton, and next Friday at Shaker Heights versus the standout in the area, Asa Ahmad, one of the top talents in Northeastern Ohio, before coming back home for Stowe Monroe Falls here in Mentor on December the 22nd. Day after Christmas, going to be here versus the Riverside Beavers as the Cardinals hosting a tournament here, holiday tournament just following Christmas. As Willie Jackson fouling Micah Potter, who's going to go to the line to shoot 2. Mentor's going to host its own holiday tournament on December the 26th and 27th. It's going to be 4 teams. Painesville, Riverside, Lake Catholic, and Kirtland going to be participating. Mentor's going to be facing off versus Painesville, Riverside on the first day, and Lake Catholic will take on Kirtland, and the winners will play that following night as well, as the losing teams will face off too. It's the end of the calendar year for the Cardinals in 2014. They're going to travel to Nashville, Tennessee to playing in an invitational tournament in association with the Music City Bowl. Coach Kazanzik thinks it could be 3 of the most difficult consecutive games that his team has ever faced. Micah Potter back at the line. 26 seconds remaining in the game. Drains the free throw. Going to give himself double figures on the night. 10 points. Kyle Sturgis breaking a press on his own. Down deep to A.J. Rose. 3-point advantage for the Cardinals. 20 seconds remaining in the game. Timeout on the court. Cardinals with the 3-point lead. Again, the Cardinals lost a lot of talent from last year's team. Their top 4 leading scorers, Caleb Potter, Connor Krasanzik, Cade McClure, and Kyle Hagee, moving on to bigger and better things. Going to be a lot of points to make up for. Caleb Potter going to be playing baseball this season, Division I baseball, as well as Cade McClure. Connor Krasanzik, Division I college football, just ended his regular season with the Minnesota Golden Gophers, who had a strong showing in the Big Ten this year. And Kyle Hagee playing some basketball at Lake Erie College in Painesville. Michael Hours playing for Lakeland Community College and the Lakers this year from that team of last year as well. So wish all those student athletes the best as they start their college careers this year. Cardinals with difficulty inbounding the ball with that full court press. Timeout on the floor. Kyle McIntosh couldn't find anyone. It's still just a 3-point game. 19 seconds remaining here tonight. Game number 1 for the Cardinals. Open it up at home. Junior varsity led off the evening with a decisive victory over Garfield Heights and their JV squad. 65-62, high point man on the night for the Cards. Joey Zog, the senior guard, 20 points, followed by Kyle McIntosh, the junior guard for the Cards, 18 points. Michael Potter, double figures as well with 10 points for the Cardinals. Andrew Valeri, 8 points on the night. Paul Satika bringing the energy. Got to start this evening for the Cards as well. And Adam Smith, number 20, getting some big minutes here in game number 1 for the Cardinals and really showing himself to be a nice defensive presence and some big offensive rebounds that really impacted the game. Kyle McIntosh looking to inbound the ball. Kicking it over to Micah Potter, having trouble getting the ball in. Marion Jackson, A.J. Rose, wide open 3-pointer, tying the ball game, 65 apiece. 10 seconds remaining in the game, clock winding down. We may be destined for overtime here, ladies and gentlemen. Joey Zog, 4. Andrew Valeri has a shot at the buzzer, putting it up. Coming up shy, so we do have another period of play. 65-65. Going to be going into overtime. Cardinals with a 7-point advantage with about a minute to play. Garfield Heights fighting their way back, highlighted by the 3-pointer to tie the game by number 15, A.J. Rose. The way this game went, you had a feeling it may be going to overtime, and sure enough, these two teams did not fail to deliver on that anticipation. We knew these teams were going to be pretty evenly matched, and they've been butting heads all night long, 65 apiece. As we go into another period here, overtime. First game of the season for the Cardinals. It's going to be a tough one here. Looking to grind it out. Ended up being 10 fouls apiece in the second half for the Cards and for the Bulldogs, when it looked like it was going to be pretty lopsided with fouls. Cardinals racked up a lot of fouls early in that second half of play, but Garfield Heights, towards the end of the fourth quarter, they racked them up pretty quickly and allowed the Cards to extend their lead. But in true fashion is the way this game has gone all night long. Nip and tuck, back and forth, all tied up as we look to go into the 4-minute extra time session here as we look to tip it off. Micah Potter is going to be going up against number 10, Raymel Franklin. 6'10" versus 6'5". 6'10" being Micah Potter, 6'5" being Raymel. Raymel Franklin versus Micah Potter. It ends up in the hands of Frankie Hughes, who quickly gets a layup to give the Bulldogs a 2-point advantage in the overtime period. 3:50 remaining in the overtime. Micah Potter under pressure. Joey Zog bringing the ball up the court. Under pressure by Kyle Sturgis. Going to call a foul on Kyle Sturgis as well. Going to be bringing Joey Zog to the free throw stripe. 20 points on the night for the senior guard for the Cards. Looking to tie the game if he can hit both of these free throws. Bulldogs up by 2 points currently. The Cards back with their starting lineup on the court. Kyle McIntosh, Andrew Valeri, Joey Zog, the guards. The forwards, Paul Satika and Micah Potter. Hitting that first free throw, Joey Zog, 21 points on the night. Putting the Cards down by 1, looking to tie the game with his second free throw attempt. 3:40 remaining in the overtime session. Joey Zog tying the ball game up. 67 apiece. Full court press. Getting back is Raymel Franklin over to Kyle Sturgis. Dribble penetration, and they're gonna call a travel against Sturgis. Garfield Heights in disagreement on that call, but it's gonna be going over as a turnover to the Mentor Cardinals. 3:29 remaining in the overtime session. Game all tied up at 67 apiece. Exciting night here. Game number 1 for the Cards. Joey Zog swinging the ball around. 3:20 remaining in the game. Nearly lost control under pressure. Overplay by A.J. Rose. And they're going to say that's a turnover, that it went off the hands of Paul Satika, the Cardinals. Putting the ball in the hands of the Garfield Heights Bulldogs. Game all tied up, 3:15 remaining in OT. Marion Jackson had himself a big night so far. Some key three-pointers. And that's going to be a 5-second call against Garfield Heights. Turnover, giving it to the Cardinals. 5 seconds. Got to make some kind of move. Sonny Johnson fully in disagreement, as a lot of the fans in the stands for Garfield Heights too. Regardless, it's going to the Cards. Andrew Valeri, the point guard, looking to set the offense. 3 minutes remaining in the overtime session. Game all tied up. Passing the ball, Joey Zog, three-pointer. Goes off the rim, and it's going to be an over the back foul against Micah Potter for the Cardinals. It's his 5th and final foul. That could hurt the Cardinals here as their big man down low. It's going to be out of the game right now. Adam Smith, number 20, checking in to replace him. Number 10, Raymel Franklin, the 6'5" senior forward for the Bulldogs. Going to be at the free throw stripe, looking to give the Bulldogs the lead. Coming up shy on that first free throw attempt. Game remains tied at 67 apiece. 2:54 remaining in OT. Both teams in a double bonus situation. Each foul results in 2 free throws, and he missed them both. Frankie Hughes with the big rebound, kicking it over to A.J. Rose, who gets the layup to give the Bulldogs the lead. So the Bulldogs missing both free throws, but getting a big offensive board. Joey Zog at the top of the key, dribble penetration, taking it in, putting it up, coming up shy on that layup attempt, but it was fouled, so he's going back to the free throw stripe. 22 points on the night for the senior, Joey Zog. Nice strong take to the basket. Nearly made it for an and one situation, but came up shy. Joey Zog drains the first one, putting the Cards back to within one. .237 remaining in the game. Joey Zog, free throw number 2, ties the game up, 69 apiece. 23 points on the night for Joey Zog, full court press. Under pressure, Frankie Hughes looking to cue it up for the three-pointer. Big offensive board by Marion Jackson, putting it up, putting it in for the 2-point lead for the Bulldogs, 71-69. Joey Zog bringing the ball up the court. Dribble penetration, bringing it in, finding himself open, missing the close range shot. 2:03 remaining in the overtime session. Marion Jackson swinging the ball around. The Bulldogs now at the upper hand. 2-point advantage. Kyle Sturgis. And Andrew Valeri guarding the much taller Frankie Hughes. Swinging it around to Marion Jackson. Kyle McIntosh going to be called for the foul. Going to be putting Marion Jackson on the line to shoot 2 free throws. Minute 39 remaining in overtime. (71-69), the Bulldogs with the advantage. Marion Jackson at the line. Coming up shy in that first one. The sophomore guard for the Bulldogs. 15 points on the night. 2-point lead for the Bulldogs. Free throw number 2 coming up shy on both of them. And again, for the second time in a row, the Bulldogs missing both free throws, but coming up with a big, big offensive rebound. The Cardinals got to keep the Bulldogs out of the lane and protect their side of the ball when the other team is shooting free throws. Frankie Hughes going to the line. 23 points on the night for Hughes. Draining that first free throw. This is the big one here, the second one. Hitting that one as well to give a 4-point lead to the Bulldogs out of Garfield Heights. Andrew Valeri bringing the ball up the court. Minute and a half remaining in the game. Valeri taking it to the basket, putting it up and nearly making that, but he was fouled regardless. Going to the free throw line, Andrew Valeri, 8 points on the night. The junior guard for the Cards. 73-69, Garfield Heights with a 4-point lead. Minute and a half remaining in the game. Andrew Valeri, big free throw, coming up shy in that first attempt. Looking to hit the second one is Tadas Tatarutis checking into the game, number 23 for the Cards. Coming in for Adam Smith. Going to bring some defensive presence. And he's got no fouls on the night, which could be an important part too. Number 5 coming into the game too, Jack Korsak checking in. Also with no fouls on the night. Andrew Valeri missed both of them. That was big. That was the Cards' opportunity to get within 2. Cards down by 4. Andrew Valeri just missed both free throws. Joey Zog having a foul. He's got 4 fouls on the night to go with his 24 points. Kyle Sturgis going to be going to the free throw line, looking to extend that 4-point lead with a minute 21 remaining in the game. Garfield Heights with the advantage in overtime. Kyle Sturgis, the senior guard for Sonny Johnson's team. Hitting that first free throw, put him up by 5 points. Kyle McIntosh checking back into the game. 74-69, the Bulldogs with the 5-point advantage. Kyle Sturgis missing the second one. Cards getting the rebound on the move. Joey Zog under pressure. Need to do something quick here. 1:14 remaining in the overtime. Missed the layup, did Joey Zog. 1:05 remaining. 5-point lead for the Bulldogs, and they're going to be going back to the free throw line. Kyle Sturgis again going to be going back to the charity stripe, looking to extend that lead. Cards missing another golden opportunity is Joey Zog in point blank range, missing the layup. At the line, Kyle Sturgis. He's got 9 points on the night. 1:03 remaining in the overtime session. The Bulldogs coming up big in this overtime here. 6-point advantage. Big turn of events right before the regular session ended in the fourth quarter. The Cards were up by as many as 7 points. A little over a minute to go, and I actually thought it was a done deal that the Cards were going to have the victory, but the Bulldogs rallied back into the game, tying it up to force this overtime session, and they're coming up big in overtime. 6-point lead. Gonna get the ball back here with 51 seconds remaining in overtime. 75-69, the Cards on the downside here in game number 1 of the season, their first home game, first game of the 2014-2015 basketball campaign. Frankie Hughes for the Bulldogs. Looking to swing it across to the other side. Kyle Sturgis again going to be finding himself going to the free throw line. This time with 46 seconds remaining in the game. Kyle Sturgis looking for free throw number 1. 10 points on the night. Make it 11. The senior guard for the Bulldogs. Been deadly at the free throw line. 76-69, the Bulldogs with the advantage. 7-point lead inside a minute to go in overtime, and he hit them both. 8-point lead for the Bulldogs. Cards would need a miracle to get back in the game at this point. Andrew Valeri with the layup, drawing the foul. He'll be shooting 2 as the clock stopped. 39 seconds remaining in the overtime period. Andrew Valeri looking to make up for his last trip to the free throw line where he missed both of them. Really at a key time. (77-69), 8-point lead for the Bulldogs. Andrew Valeri looking to hit that first free throw as he knocks that one down. Valeri with 9 points on the night. Dropping them both this time, giving the Cards some hope. Down by 6 with 39 seconds in the game. Cards looking to force a turnover. That's what they could really hope for right now. Frankie Hughes getting bumped, getting fouled. 5-point man for the Bulldogs. 24 points on the night for Frankie Hughes, looking to add to that tally when he gets to the free throw line. 6-point lead for the Bulldogs. Double bonus situation for both of the teams. We've been in this point for quite a while in this game. Frankie Hughes dropping another one, putting that lead back up to 7 points. Free throw number 2, Frankie Hughes putting it up, missing that one. You know, a big thing that held the Cardinals back here in overtime were when the Bulldogs gave the Cards some opportunities with missing a pair of free throws. Cardinals couldn't get the board and gave up the offensive rebounds to the Bulldogs. Going to be a jump ball situation. Both teams fighting for it there, and it's going to be possession arrow in favor of the Cardinals. Andrew Valeri with the ball, 24 seconds. Got to do something here, putting up a 3-pointer. Bouncing it in. Going to put the score to 74-78. Cardinals on the downside by 4 points. 18.5 seconds remaining in the game. It's about the fourth or fifth time tonight we've seen a three-pointer bounce and fall in for the Cards. Valeri, 13 points on the night. Timeout on the court. Overtime session. Not a whole lot of time remaining. Cards trying to cling on and stay in this game here with trying to get some hope. Down by 4 to Garfield Heights. Game number 1 on the season. Cardinals out there right now with Ian Tenku, Tadas Tatarunas, Andrew Valeri, Joey Zog. And number 5 out there as well, that's Jack Korsak. Got a number of guys with some fouls to give other than Joey Zog, who has 4 on the night. All the other guys either have 1 or none. Of course, trying to steal the ball on the inbounds here, but willing to play the free throw game if they have to. And that's going to be a foul on Joey Zog, and that's going to be it for Zog on the night. 24 points for the senior guard, but he's going to have to take a seat with his 5th foul on the night. Adam Smith going to check into the game for Joey Zog. 17 seconds remaining. The Cards down by 4. Missing that first one, Frankie Hughes, giving the Cards a little bit of a glimmer of hope here. 78-74, the Bulldogs with the overtime lead. 17 seconds remaining. Frankie Hughes with the second one, draining that one. Nick DiLiberto checking in for the first time tonight, number 30, the senior guard for the Cards. Andrew Valeri, 15 seconds remaining, going to put up a three-pointer. Fighting for the ball. Brandon Johnson ends up with it for the Bulldogs with 9 seconds in the game. Brandon Johnson's been quiet on the offensive end tonight for the Bulldogs. Going to be playing his ball next year in college for Alabama State, but only 4 points to this juncture. Going to be at the free throw line shooting 2. Missing that first one. 9 seconds remaining in OT. Cards down by 5. Brandon Johnson, second free throw attempt. Missed that one as well. Adam Smith quickly over to Jack Harsog. Looking for a foul, shooting a 3. They didn't give it to him. 1 second remaining in the game, and it looks like the Bulldogs are going to pull this one out. Surprising turn of events with regulation. The Cards up by as many as 7 points with a couple minutes to go. Turnovers and three-pointers bringing the Bulldogs back into the game, finally tying it up before the end of regulation. In the overtime quarter here, it's been all Bulldogs. Cardinals just couldn't scratch their way back into it as the Bulldogs now with a 6-point lead, 1.3 seconds remaining in the game. Frankie Hughes draining both of them, 27 points on the night. Andrew Valeri is going to heave it up, but that's going to be it, the ball game. 81-74, the Cardinals drop game number 1 on the season to Garfield Heights and the Bulldogs. Pete Stark, Cardinal TV, proud to bring it to you again tonight. Again, you can check out the replay of the game. Cardinal TV, Mentor, Ohio, YouTube, or on Time Warner Cable and Mentor, channel 96.96. We'll catch you next time.